All right, I'm jumping ahead to a creative expression because it starts off, if you make music. Well, you do. I don't mean to sound so accusatory. Do you feel it helps you process your emotions in a way words alone can't? I mean, if it's negative, tell me.
Um, I think that writing helps you bring closure to things sometimes, especially if it's something from the not so recent past. You know,
Yeah.
an old friend or an old girlfriend.
Have you written a song? Sorry to interrupt. That helped you deal with something? Like, do you have an example of a song?
Um,
Because I'm sure there's many.
yeah, I just kind of sprinkle different things into songs. You know, like in the song "Cafe Girls," you know, where it talks about falling asleep in a car and having a dream about the cafe girls from North Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, the coffee shop that I worked at there, you know, I missed that environment, and it felt good to put it into a song, almost like the way that you would put a photo into a photo album, you know. And so it's like working through the past, kind of, in a way, and putting it someplace where it can belong, so that you don't have to keep taking it with you.
I just want to interject that his music is meaningful to me, Nick Jones, The Loving Knives, and I respect his process. I respect his music. Yeah, he's an amazing person and amazing talent. So I don't know. I don't want to interject too much of my own, because I can interject my own later. You know.
Thank you for the nice word.
Oh yeah. Just remember, you owe me. Do you think creating music is different than listening to it when it comes to? I have a problem with healing. I wrote a song once that had rhymed healing and feeling, and I didn't write those words. Someone else added them, and it made me struggle.
I have to say that, being that I started trying to make up songs when I was pretty young, it's hard to think of what not having music would feel like. So I couldn't really give you an impression of that.
I definitely went through a phase of creating the music and not listening.
Yeah.
Like when you're
Absolutely.
earlier, it seemed like maybe earlier on the process, maybe it's like you get so obsessed with the creative process that almost don't give yourself time to actually listen. Other than maybe like in the background, you're like, oh, I hear like a melody that
Yeah.
in this section that maybe I could run with, or something.
Yeah.
Everything was about like, how am I going to make this into a creation, But then you eventually get to the point where, there is some combination, or there's even the point where like I took a pause and you took a pause,
Yeah.
where we basically just became listeners again.
Yeah, absolutely. Once I started in on the Beach Boys, it was like having a first love in music again, like Kiss was for me when I was a little kid, where it was like that was all I wanted to listen to for years, and I couldn't imagine another band like that. And then I discovered the Beach Boys during a period of sobriety, and it actually helped keep me sober because the music was so inspiring that it brought me into a period of creativity again when I hadn't written a song for probably 3 years.
Right.
Didn't know if I was going to write a song again. But just hearing those high falsettos and that analog reverb and stuff, I knew I could emulate something in that, and I wanted to try it and see how it would sound. And so that certainly brought back creativity. And living without it, I don't know. It just whenever you are a creative person, when you have periods without creativity, it's got to be different than not having it at all.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of dormant, like a volcano, you know.
And being from the Midwest, being from a Judeo-Christian home, whatever, I'm not trying to sound philosophical or theological, but I felt some shame in creating. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think at some point, like, it was almost like a secret. Plus, I was older when I started. And so, like, for parents to look at you from the greatest generation or close to it, you know, they were actually post-greatest. You know, they're like, what are you doing? You know, are you trying to become famous? Like, their idea of music was American Idol or something.
Yeah.
It's like, that was not, no, it's to create for creation's sake. Yes, I would love a few people to hear it. A few people that I care about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people that would think, you know, well, why wouldn't you want to be in the top 20?
Yeah.
Why, I mean, and if you're not in the top 20, what are you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we have many examples in our, from careers of people who have basically made it more difficult for themselves to be successful.
Yeah.
You know, like name changes, label changes, you know, Hal Gelb, Giant Sand stuff. Bonnie Prince Billy changed his name so much, although he did just quite well probably, compared to Hal, I would guess.
Yeah, yeah. I would say with the Bonnie Prince Billy one, it was almost a stroke of luck that he landed on a name that would stick, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost.
We're almost done.